YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy D-Boy352 bringing you the rocket launch and Fortnite Battle Royale that happened earlier today. Now, if you weren't able to catch it for yourself, don't worry, because I'm bringing it to you from my perspective in the game and also in replay mode. So when I jumped into a game earlier today, I actually kind of freaked out a little bit because I got a waiting queue before I could even sign in. Luckily, the waiting queue was over. It let me log in, get into Battle Royale, and I got into a lobby. By the time I took off from the battle bus, I had about 20 seconds before the rocket actually went off. So here I am on top of the tower in Lonely Lodge, just watching the rocket. Now after the rocket goes up and doesn't go any further, I think it's over, so I continue about the game. And then I hear this weird voice. I'm gonna let you guys listen to it real quick. So I actually thought that voice was a broadcast coming over the TV. So I go inside the tower looking for a TV, don't find one. And I said, forget it, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep playing. I couldn't hear anything it said. All I could tell was the very last thing it said was set coordinates. So while I'm playing, I actually hear the rocket going again. So I start looking out, trying to find it, and I end up finding it and see it crash into something. I don't even know what it is. So then I hear it again, and I start looking around like crazy trying to find it way out in the distance and see that one crash into something else. Can't tell what that is either. And then all of a sudden, right in the center, I see it coming through again, and it shoots straight up and just cracks. It looks like a rupture in time. Now, of course, we don't know what any of this means, what's actually happening. All we can do is speculate. What I think is the rocket actually travels through some kind of time warp or something like that until it actually ends up creating a rupture in time, which is what the end result is. You know, that's the best guess I can give. I'm sure there's other people that have different views and different thoughts on it that are probably more correct. So now you're just seeing the rocket launch in replay mode. And in here, I'm going to actually show you the rocket launch from the beginning all the way to the end and follow the rocket all around the map. So it initially launches, goes up, the booster breaks off and crashes in Anarchy, which I said in the video yesterday that some people had found a way in the replay system where they could see that, and it's actually the booster that breaks off. It actually does crash in Anarchy Acres, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Now, after the rocket stops going up and it starts to descend, that's actually when that weird voice came up that said set coordinates, and then you see the laser that actually targets Tilted Towers. So it comes crashing down to Tilted Towers, and right before it hits it, it goes into that time warp. Now, once it goes into that time warp, it actually shifts over to by Fatal Fields, shoots all around the map, and then goes into another time warp over by Greasy Grove. Then after that one, for the final one, it actually comes up kind of right in the middle of Loot Lake. It shoots straight up, and that's how we end up with this, what I'm assuming is a rupture in time. So now here you see the laser targeting Tilted Towers, and then you see the rocket come shooting straight down to Tilted. And I was so scared for Tilted for a second, but it ended up surviving, so all's okay. Now I ended up changing the angle and shooting the Tilted Towers again, just because it was a better angle for where it comes out by Fatal Fields and then flies around the map. So now you see the rocket come out of the second time warp, flies all around the map, goes over by Lonely, goes by Wayland Woods, flies over Anarchy, and ends up going into another time warp all the way on the other side of the map by Greasy Grove. All right, and then finally, we're going to see the rocket come out of over by Loot Lake. It's going to come out of another time warp and then just shoot straight up. Now, I'm not sure what the target actually was because none of that was ever mentioned, but I'm pretty sure the target wasn't just the sky. I mean, come on, what villain just wants to shoot air? I don't think that's how that works. So there's definitely an underlying story here. We just don't know what it is yet. So now the next thing I'm going to show you is actually where the booster breaks off and where it lands in Anarchy Acres. So after the rocket goes up for a little bit, just like a regular rocket in real life, it has to shed weight and the primary boosters break off. So this booster ends up falling off and then comes barreling down towards Anarchy Acres and landing right in front of the house next to one of those little shacks. Now the boosters themselves wouldn't actually render in my replay. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but I couldn't get them to render in, but you can see the crash site. And then the next two clips I have, one of them is just the rocket as it's flying by Risky Reels. I just paused it and panned around the rocket a little bit and then let it play out because I thought it was a pretty neat little shot. And then I actually went inside the lair as the rocket took off just so you guys can see what actually happened in there, because I wanted to see if anybody was in there, if the visitor was in there or anything like that. Nobody was in there, not even a player. The rocket just took off, and that was it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you weren't able to watch the rocket launch, I hope I was able to cover everything and bring to you everything that happened so that maybe you can sleep a little bit easier tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to sub, hit that thumbs up, turn them notifications on, and share with all your friends. And that's all I got for this one. So until next time, D-Boy out.